This is a line, a really long line. People are waiting for hours, not for a new phone, not for a concert, but for a toy. A small plastic figurine that comes in a sealed box. You don't even know which one you're gonna get. And this simple idea is a multi-billion-dollar empire. In 2024, Pop Mart's revenue crossed 10 billion yuan. That's over 1.3 billion US dollars. Their new toy drops sell out online in just minutes. And on TikTok, #PopMart has been viewed hundreds of millions of times. So what is going on here? How did a company selling useless little toys engineer a global addiction and build a cult-like following that rivals the biggest brands in the world? To understand the Pop Mart phenomenon, you first have to meet the man who started it all. This is Wang Ning, and in 2010 he wasn't thinking about toys. He had a simple vision: to create a cool lifestyle store. Think of a place that sells all kinds of fashionable, creative stuff. Stationery, accessories, cool gadgets. Wang Ning wasn't a toy maker. He was a natural-born entrepreneur. During summer vacation, he started a soccer camp from scratch, just by printing leaflets. In college, he ran a studio making documentary-style videos of campus life for his classmates. He even opened a small grit shop, a store where people could rent little booths to sell their own stuff. He sold that shop for about 30,000 US dollars and used that seed money to open the very first Pop Mart. The idea wasn't to create an empire, it was just to build one cool shop. But that shop was about to stumble upon a secret weapon. However, Wang Ning's trendy lifestyle store wasn't an instant hit. In fact, it was a disaster. By 2014, the company was bleeding money. 7 of its 8 locations were unprofitable. The business model was broken. Pop Mart was just a middleman, selling stuff you could find anywhere, with razor-thin profit margins. It seemed like the dream was over. But then, a happy accident changed everything. One of the toys they sold, a Japanese collectible called Sunny Angel, started flying off the shelves. The demand was so insane that this one little doll soon accounted for a third of the company's entire revenue. That was a light bulb moment. Wang Ning realized he wasn't in the business of selling trendy stuff. He was in the business of selling collectibles. So he made a huge bet. He cleared out all the other miscellaneous junk and focused almost entirely on this new untapped market. But there was still one big problem. Pop Mart didn't own Sunny Angel. They were just a distributor, totally dependent on another company. To truly succeed, Pop Mart couldn't just sell the hit toy, it had to own the hit toy. And that realization led them to create the engine that will drive their entire empire. This is the blind box, and it's more than just clever packaging. It's a masterclass in applied psychology. The system is simple. A series has about 12 different regular figures, but there's also a secret one, which is incredibly rare. This whole model is engineered to hack your brain's reward system, and the first trick is the uncertainty reward. Your brain gets a bigger kick of dopamine, the feel-good chemical when a reward is uncertain. It's not the prize itself, but the anticipation that gets you hooked. It's the same logic that makes slot machines and scrolling social media so addictive. Next, they use scarcity to trigger your fear of missing out, or FOMO. When a series is limited, the potential pain of missing out on a rare figure feels way more powerful than the pleasure of getting a common one. It creates a powerful urge to buy and buy. And finally, the model taps into our deep-seated need to complete things. This is called the Zeigarnik effect. It's that nagging intrusive thought you get about a task you left unfinished. An incomplete collection literally lives in your head rent-free, pushing you to buy just one more box. But when you build a billion-dollar empire by hacking people's brains, someone is eventually going to notice. And they did. Regulators started raising alarms about the model's gambling-like nature and its potential to encourage addiction, especially among kids. The backlash was coming. A collaboration with KFC in China was slammed for encouraging food waste, as people bought mountains of fried chicken just to get the limited edition figures. So the government stepped in. The party was over. China rolled out a new set of rules for the entire industry. First, a ban on selling blind boxes to children under the age of 8. Second, a price cap. A single box shouldn't cost more than 200 RMB or about $30 to limit the financial damage. And third, no more secrets. Companies now have to clearly publish the exact odds of finding those rare hidden items. The Wild West was being tamed, and for a company whose entire model was being built on uncertainty and impulse, this was a huge threat. But while the regulators were focused on the box, they were missing the bigger picture. Pop Mart's true secret weapon wasn't the gambling mechanic. It was what was inside the box. Remember the Sonny Angel problem? Being dependent on another company's toy almost killed them. Wang Ning learned this lesson. Never again. So, Pop Mart completely changed its strategy. Instead of just selling toys, it became an artist talent scout. Their teams would hunt for independent designers with unique styles, partner with them, and then use Pop Mart's massive scale to turn their characters into global brands. This is the single biggest thing that separates Pop Mart from its closest competitor, Funko. Funko's business is built almost entirely on licensing. They pay big money to use characters that are already famous, like Iron Man, Harry Potter, or Darth Vader. They're essentially renting popularity. Pop Mart, on the other hand, builds its characters from the ground up. They own the intellectual property. They are owning the popularity. It's a riskier, more patient strategy, but the payoff is infinitely bigger. They aren't just selling a product, they are building a universe of desirable characters that belong to them and them alone. And that patient strategy of building its own IP was about to pay off in a way nobody could have predicted. It all started with this little guy. This is Labubu, a mischievous elf with pointy ears and 9 serrated teeth. He was created in 2015 by artist Ka Sing-lung, inspired by the Nordic folklore he grew up with. Pop Mart partnered with him in 2019, and the character grew steadily popular. But in April 2024, a single social media post triggered a global explosion. Lisa from the K-pop group Blackpink posted photos with her Labubu collection to her 100 million Instagram followers, and the world went insane. Suddenly, Labubu wasn't just a toy, it was a must-have fashion accessory. It became a status symbol. The financial impact was staggering. In the first half of 2025, revenue from Labubu skyrocketed by 668%. This wasn't a paid ad, it was an organic cultural moment, and it was a huge deal. For a Chinese company to create an original character that took over the world is a massive shift. This wasn't made in China, this was created in China. So how does Pop Mart keep the hype going after a viral explosion like Labubu? They've built a powerful self-sustaining community machine. It starts with their physical stores. They aren't just shops, they're designed to be immersive experiences, like mini art galleries. They're destinations. The goal isn't just to get you to buy something, it's to get you to take a photo and share your visit online, generating free marketing. Then, there are the robo-shops. Over 2,500 futuristic vending machines planted in high-traffic spots like malls and airports. These aren't just for convenience, they're a brilliant low-cost way to test new markets. Before committing to an expensive store, Pop Mart can drop a robo-shop to see if the demand is there. But the real engine of the community is digital. Pop Mart's marketing is powered by its own fans. The blind box format is perfect content gold for social media. The suspense, the reveal, the reaction, it's made for video. And Pop Mart encourages this, turning their entire customer base into a massive decentralized marketing army that generates millions of views. It's the perfect feedback loop. Online hype drives people to the stores. The in-store experience creates more online content, and the cycle repeats, getting bigger every time. But what happens when you buy box after box and still can't find that one secret figure you're hunting for? Well, the hunt doesn't end at the store. Welcome to the secondary market. This is the fan-driven culture that exists completely outside of Pop Mart's control. Because the blind box format creates so many duplicates, fans are constantly seeking to trade with each other to complete their sets. But it's the rare secret figures that fuel a vibrant and sometimes intense resale culture. Figures that originally sold for a few dollars can be resold for double, triple, 10 times the price, or sometimes even more. Instead of trying to shut this down, Pop Mart embraces it. Why? Because a thriving secondary market only adds to the value and prestige of their products. It reinforces the scarcity, deepens the FOMO, and makes the whole game of collecting feel that much more real. The hunt is the whole point. So, after mastering the art of the blind box, hacking our brains, and conquering the globe, what could possibly be next? The answer? To become the next Disney. This is Popland, opened in 2023. It's Pop Mart's first immersive IP theme park, a 40,000 square meter world where their characters come to life. The goal is to evolve beyond just selling toys. It's about building a multifaceted entertainment empire where the collectibles are just the beginning. They've already launched their first mobile game, and animated films and series are in the works. The strategy is to give these characters what Disney gives Mickey Mouse: a story, a personality, a soul. A character with a story is resilient. It can outlast a trend. It can become a timeless cultural icon. Pop Mart's vision is audacious. From a single failing shop to a global IP empire, they turned useless toys into a cultural force. They proved that the most powerful products aren't the ones we need, but the ones we desire.